Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the yellow coins and who you can spend your yellow coins on DBZ Dokkan Battle Global. Now when I discuss these yellow coin LRs, I will be discussing some of the future EZAs that are to come. So if you are someone who does not enjoy spoilers, then I highly suggest that you avoid looking at this video. Now with that being said, we are going to be taking a look at all of the LRs here. Some I will touch on briefly if I am mentioning whether you should summon on them, and some I will not be discussing so in depth, I should say. But we'll start at the very bottom and then work our way all the way up to the top. And then afterwards I'll do a very quick recap of whether you should summon, or whether you should buy the units. Now just remember, with LR coins, you get them on legendary banners, and every now and then the latest LRs will be added onto the banner and you can see them from there. The latest LR to be added onto the yellow coin store purchase is the legendary Trunks and Gohan, a unit that I think are very good and who get even better with dupes. So if you are looking at getting some dupes in them, I do highly suggest it. So yeah, now let's start with taking a look at the units at the very bottom, and then as I said, we'll be slowly working our way up throughout the units. So starting off with Int Teen Gohan, a unit that got an EZA and is fantastic offensively. You can pick him up if you're absolutely desperate to do the Dokkan punching bag, but he's not really suggested. Same with LR Vegeta, a great unit at rainbow level, very decent, but his passive is very hard to get activated in full and not really worth the time. Strength Broly, still worth the coins, I feel. His AoE damage is still super impressive. His defense after super is still very good, and he helps a lot with ESBR and SBR stages. He's an absolute machine when it comes to that content. So he's very good in that content. I do highly suggest you look at investing in him. Now Goku Black previously would have been an absolute no, but his recent EZA on JP makes him one of the best units in the game, and so I highly suggest that if you're looking at picking up a unit and you're a fan of Goku Black, you can pick up this unit. His animations are pretty average, but he's pretty good. Physical Trunks is undisputably the best unit in the game. Well, okay, he's alright. He's obviously not that great. I love him as a Trunks fan, but genuinely speaking, I don't think it's going to be worth your gold coins unless you are super into Trunks as a Trunks fan. I really like this unit. I really like the card, and I will be doing a run where I use him in Red Zone, but he's very niche and just wasn't really as good after his EZA. I think they were a bit scared with the crit system. Goten and Trunks, or Mighty Mask, previously one of the worst LRs to pick up, now very good after their EZA, but their link set's still a bit wonky, and I just don't know if they are going to be hype or worth your 500 coins. I think then you start discounting some of these guys and really give us some other options. But yes, they're very good after their EZA. I just don't know if it's worth the time as is. Now next we have Bojack, and Bojack is still very good actually. He's a very strong unit. He has a very solid link set. He's very good with other Bojack units, but beyond that he's not worth the coins. Tech Goku, also very good on the Super Saiyan 3 team, still usable in the previous ES or SBR and the ESPR, but beyond that has very little usage. Him and Bojack are up next for EZAs and will probably be EZAing soon. So if you're into pre-investing and banking on them being good, you can maybe look at picking them up. Beerus is currently probably one of the worst LRs. He's awesome from a perspective of he can still do pretty high damage, but other than that he has a little bit too much needing to be catered for him to be really solid. Then we have the Bojack. Now Bojack actually got a pretty good EZA. Like if I look at his EZA, he probably got one of the better EZAs in the game. He's just very limited because of category and the way it was designed. So although he's not actually bad as a unit. I just think he's too limited to warrant the coins. Next we have Cell, a very good EZA, and with a great new lead with AGL Cell and great links that he shares with him. Definitely one of the better ones to pick up with yellow coins. If you wanted to pick up Cell, I would 100% think that's a very wise purchase, basically. Go Frieza, they're a little bit, they're like it's very strange to say that they're not maybe worth the pickup when they're a unit that can do like, 12 million attack stats easily, but they just are a little bit too wonky in design. They are a unit that just requires a little bit of setup, and I think for the most part as well, they are just maybe a little bit too difficult to utilize properly. I think in hard content due to the fact that they rely on debuffs. Trunks and Mai, very good unit. Their ECA is also very quality, but again, they're very good on that Time Travelers team, and then that's about it. So if you're looking at a Time Travelers based team, fantastic. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest picking them up. Baby, this might come back to bite me, but if Baby gets an EZA at the worldwide celebration, then it would have been great to pick him up now, but you can always pick him up then. So maybe hold back on that. The GT Trio also about to receive their EZA, probably to become very good, but I still think they're so limited as a unit that I actually think it's okay to not utilize them. I actually think they're still so limited that it's not worth your time to buy them. Then we have the Full Power Frieza. Very strong unit, does a lot of damage, but unfortunately just hasn't aged very well. His defense is not too solid. Then we have the LR AGL, Kale and Caulifla. You should still probably buy them. I know they really still are quite good. And I actually think they're still really solid units. Their leader skill is probably the only bad thing about them, but they've just remained so relevant. That card's EZAs can be very interesting because their design has made them still so very good. The Int God Goku, just skipped him because he's not worth it, but the Strength God Goku could still definitely be worth it. I think with an evasion meta, he's still useful in a lot of content, especially alongside the AGL UI Goku. I think that still gives him longevity in a lot of hard events that don't lock evasion. And I think if you definitely have him, or maybe even have a dupe in him, he's still very good. Int LR Goku Black, definitely not one that I would consider buying or using currently at this time. I think you can definitely get a little bit better value for your buck. Then the physical AGL Vegeta, or Angel Vegeta I should say, very solid unit. Does a lot of good work. I think he's a little bit underrated. I think he's still very good defensively, but he does need a dupe. The Broly I just skipped because yeah, that's Broly, Chilai, and Lemmo are a cool card and concept with great animations, but they just don't come out very well. The Tech LR Movie Gohan, very good damage. Needs dupes to have great defense. Jiren, not great at all. Just very limited with his passive. Turles, still a solid option, especially with the AGL Turles' EZA coming out. But I think overall is a unit that you're also probably not going to want to invest in, especially at 55%. I think you're probably going to lose out a little bit too much there. Super 17 I don't think is worth the investment, far too limited in terms of category. The Tapian and Minoshia, however, although very limited, I think are still exceptional. And I think they are actually a fantastic unit that you can use in a lot of content because of their good design. The representatives of Universe 7, Golden Frieza, which eventually becomes Frieza and 17, and the reps of Universe 7, Android 17, are both really good. Just you can only run them on one team. Well, not only, but they like very awesome on their one team. If you are building a reps of Universe 7 team, then you pick them up, and that team will really start to spike, especially if you pick up both of them. But if you're not going to run that, then I would suggest maybe not getting them. Like, if you're into Universe 7, then pick them up. Then the Gohan and Krillin, don't pick them up. They're a really cool card, but they've aged very poorly. No great linking partners is their big issue. Whereas this Inf Vegeta is on the other end of the spectrum. He's still aged very well, and links up pretty well with a lot of new units due to his Saiyan-orientated link set. He does a lot of great work as well, and he actually has great defense as a second slot or floating unit, so you can definitely utilize him. Plus his revive skill makes him very relevant. Goku and Piccolo, a solid unit if anything else. They're great with the new physical Goku and Piccolo on a joined forces team, so you do have that going for you. Hit and Goku are probably one of the few units that I would say you could definitely pick up without any hindrance. Although super limited, they are incredibly good, and they still do a lot of great work and huge damage even at 55%. So they're definitely one of the few LRs I think there's very minimal drawback with, and I think they're very, very worth your time, and you're probably going to have a pretty good time if you get them. Janemba, defensively probably one of the best, if not the best unit in the game. Up there, definitely, with a whole bunch of other units. An incredibly powerful, strong unit that does a lot of great work. I think his only issue is categories. He's just not on a lot, but the movie boss's team, and you can see that guy really, really work super duper well. And then finally, obviously we have the LR Gohan and Trunks. So the first three units I honestly think you could pick up without any negativity. Vegeta I think you could pick up as well, and he's well worth the coins. I think he's great. He's got a lot of good categories, and I think he does a lot of good work. This UI God Goku I think is also decent. 100% I would probably use him. The LR Kale and Caulifla I think you could also get good usability out of as well, especially if you have a lot of the good Universe 6 units. Then we have the GT Trio, just because of their upcoming Easy Air. I would say they're definitely a unit that's up for speculation. Trunks and Mai you could 100% get if you're into running time travelers and want to bring it to relevancy. Physical Cell you must 100% get, especially if you have the AGL Cell, the brand new one. It's going to really elevate your team quite substantially. Goku Black is very, very good. He is really, really good, and pre-buying him would be a really solid investment. And Broly will help you clear a lot of super hard ESBR and SBR stages. That's going to be it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.